earlier in my life, I had this sense that like that pleasure was not totally okay. Like that was the way I was brought up, and I felt like, okay, well, of course I have to have sex, or certain, I make time for it, I do it, but somehow indulging and really allowing myself to go like fully all the way into it seemed like I still had that wrongness about it. I still had that like, oh well, maybe I should probably be focusing on other things. Or um, as I dipped into Tantra, this became glaringly obvious that the body is like the path into presence, is a way into deeper alignment with life itself, with my energy, with my emotions. And so I feel like most of us are just touching the tip of the iceberg on what we're actually able to experience in terms of our physical um, subtleties, energetic subtleties, and the connection that's possible between two people. Um, what we're wanting to bring forward here is a sort of a widening the territory of what's possible for you in terms of your somatic experience of intimacy. I think that we get into our patterns, we get into our habits and our usual ways about relating to our own bodies, what we feel like we deserve, what we feel like what we're open to experiencing, and it becomes really, especially if you've been in a relationship a long time, year after year, things shift, right, in this area of embodiment. And so we're wanting again to take a fresh look and really um, to use that beginner's mind to see what's possible in your experience of the body and experience of energy and connection there.
So without further ado, we actually want to invite you to use your body to connect with your partner in this moment. We want to just ask you to take a moment to just feel into your body, to slither up against your partner, to embody whatever kind of movement you want to use to communicate. And we actually want to invite you to use your hands as little as possible, and actually focus on the way your body, your spine and your core can get into the movement right now. And I want to
We
invite you
want
also
you
to
to
make,
embody being a snake. So like let
yeah,
yourself be a snake. Feel what it's like to embody that energy, which is sort of
yeah.
predatorial. It's sort of like calculating,
Mhm.
slow. It's mindful. It's intense. There's like a I'm in control. I'm
Mhm.
fully aware of what I'm doing. I'm slithering just the way
Slithering.
I want to slither. So
Mhm.
taking some time to almost like size each other up, let that tongue flick a little bit and kind of let your body
Slither.
begin to just like roll and slide over the other person's body. And then, yeah, if you're
Mhm.
alone, then using your own hands to caress your body, or get yourself down on the ground and
Yeah.
slither.
And
Right.
if there's some kind of sound that wants to come from deep inside of you as you start to feel this movement and start to slither around on your partner and start to get weird, like let yourself get a little weird. This is exactly
Oh
what it's
yes,
about. It's only weird if you make it weird. So make it as weird as possible, please. And just lean
definitely want
into
weird
that.
right here.
Let that sound out, whatever animal primal sound. And if you're having a hard time connecting with this movement, this is also a perfect opportunity for you to witness yourself and to witness the resistance and to witness some of the ways that it doesn't feel comfortable to inhabit this kind of movement or to inhabit this kind of relating with your partner. And that's beautiful information. There's no wrong way to do this. All of that we are going to invite you into is an invitation to notice what happens when you're asked to
Mm-hmm,
stretch, to lean in, to
mm-hmm,
check it out in this way. So
mm-hmm,
thank you. And if you are alone, just finding that slithery rhythm in yourself and that
mm-hmm,
sensuousness. And we'll invite you all back from that conversation with your cores and your bodies, and just come back to the screen. And if you're able and willing to turn your video on, that would be great, because we're going to ask a few thresholding questions of the group, and we're going to ask you to hold up your hand with a number between 1 and 5 for each of these questions. It's an answer on a personal level about your own experience of this. And I want you to hold your hand up, and I want you to look around at the group. If you're not on gallery view, I want you to get on gallery view so you can see this community and just see where this whole spectrum of where people are with this stuff. So let me ask, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being like not at all, and 5 being like you can't imagine living more fully in your body. How fully do you live in your body on a daily basis? How fully do you feel like you inhabit your body and the intelligence of your body on a scale of 1 at the bottom to 5 at the very top of the scale? Hold up your number and keep it up there until I ask you to put it down.
Mhm.
Just take a look.
Yeah.
Embodiment. We got some
How
3s,
much are you in connection
some,
with what feels good for
some
you?
waving 4s.
Mhm.
So hold up that number and keep it up. Beautiful. And just look around at the community. Thank you so much, y'all.
I see a little like
I'm a
partly
wavering
3, partly
5-ish.
4. All
And then
right.
um, another question here for y'all is how well do you know on a scale of 1 to 5? 1 being like I barely know what makes me feel good, and 5 being like I'm so connected to my pleasure. I know exactly what makes me feel good. On a scale of 1 to 5, how aware are you, and how much do you know your own pleasure? What gives you pleasure? So this is just your relationship with your own pleasure on the scale of 1 to 5. How well do you know your
Mhm. Yeah, there's endless dimensions here.
own? Yeah.
Endless
People are really
dimensions
in touch,
for
really get it. Some people are still learning. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
beautiful.
and there's so many reasons why we may be lower on this number, right? Maybe there's shame, maybe there's past trauma, maybe we haven't had a partner who's really wanting to listen and find out what exactly we want, or it's been hard to ask for it, or
And now on a scale of 1 to 5, how easy is it for you to ask for exactly what you want around your pleasure? Scale of 1 to 5, how well do you communicate and be like, this is how I want it, baby, give it to me like
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, I see some people admitting some lower numbers here, and
Uh-huh.
thank you for being honest with
Yeah.
it, 'cause it's,
It's vulnerable to ask for
you
what you
know,
want. Oof.
and I think there's this assumption that like, oh, if you're with somebody you really love, they should just know exactly what you want, right? You should never have to ask. They should just read your mind and know exactly how to get you off and
Yeah.
exactly what it would be. Yeah.
So that's beautiful. And then the last question here is on a scale of 1 to 5, how excited are you? And how adventurous are you feeling about learning new ways to give and receive pleasure in your relationship?
Like, are you like, yeah, let's go there? Are you like, I don't know. I think I should just play it safe and, yeah.
Yeah. So let me see those numbers. Keep them up there for us.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, we see
It's
some
okay to be a
some
little
aggressive
nervous too. Low
5
numbers are
analytics.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a great span
Yeah.
here. Thank you. Thank you all. You
Awesome,
can put your
guys.
numbers down.
So many different dimensions of energy and touch skills and
Yeah.